So we put the word out that we were looking to hear about the who, what, where, and how of your particular win, your particular accomplishment or achievement, all in 60 seconds or less. And in order to do that, I've enlisted the skills of my colleague, Abe Daly, who's going to be keeping time. Abe, can you test the bell for us? Okay. So you all know when you've heard the bell that you've gone too long. These are intended to be, seriously, very quick, just enough to give people an idea of what it is you've accomplished, what your idea is, and have them say, maybe we could do that too. So I know we're running a little bit ahead of schedule, but if I could have the people who are participating in this year's What Works segment, come on up over here. I'll call you up, and you'll have 60 seconds to tell us what works for you. Now, first up, we have the town of Falmouth. And we'll give her a chance to get to the stage, then we can start timing. Town of Falmouth.
Hi, I'm Maggie Fleming, and I'm the administration analyst for the town of Falmouth. And a recent win for Falmouth has been our fact sheets. Staff have been creating these 1 to 2 page documents for the last few years on a range of topics, including brown-tailed moth and ticks, composting, committee chair guidance, fire department staffing, elections, homestead exemption, parks and community programs, revaluation, tax increment financing, amongst other things. And these fact sheets are a great time-saving tool for staff and counselors when residents ask us about hot topics in the community, as we can simply send the fact sheet on the topic to the residents instead of having to conduct additional research or reach out to other staff. They're also great short formats for explaining complex topics such as our TIF amendments or our ongoing revaluation. And we share these fact sheets on our website, in our biweekly newsletter, the Falmouth Focus, and our social media accounts. And I brought several examples if they don't fly away to share if you want to see them. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie and Town of Falmouth, for their idea of fact sheets on a variety of timely topics for their residents. Next is the City of Westbrook.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Foley, Mayor of the City of Westbrook, and shortly after I became mayor, we made a small tweak to some zoning in our Main Street corridor where we have infrastructure, public transit, sidewalks and such to allow for more denser development. And we continue to expand it and do a few tweaks here and there throughout my time, which has resulted in approximately 200 units, new residential units permitted. We have about 20 or so that are under construction or have been built now, and we look forward to seeing the remaining ones of those built and be able to support the housing shortage that we have here in the region. Thank you.
Abe, what did we have on the time for Mayor Foley's? I'm sorry? 30 seconds. You got half a minute left. Well, if you haven't been through downtown Westbrook recently, there is quite a lot going on. There's a reconstruction of a downtown plaza, new buildings going up on Main Street, and the biggest project, which you've probably seen in the Press Herald, the Vertical Farms, a multi-use development right in the heart of downtown. So there's a lot happening in Westbrook, and a lot that the people who work there, Mike, Jerry, and all the people that have been making things happen should be proud of. Our next featured community in What Works is the town of Bridgton.
Hi, good afternoon. Linda LaCroix, Community Development Director in the town of Bridgton. Bridgton has joined with Wyndham to work on building resilience and climate change impacts that we are seeing now and in preparing for in the future. We are engaging with staff to build climate considerations into our existing planning process to ensure projects and policies are sustainable. GPCOG has brought new funding in to support our priorities in addressing climate change impacts while building an economically strong and connected community. Working alongside Wyndham has been a great opportunity to think about regional issues and understand our shared needs and challenges. Bridgton is developing our first open space plan under the Resilience Partnership Program from the Governor's Office of Policy Innovation in the Future. The open space plan and the resilience standards will be included in our 2024 Comprehensive Plan update under the context of sustainability, resilience, and equity. A shout out especially to Sarah and Kelly from GBCOG for all the work that they do to support Bridgton in these efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Taking things a little bit out of order, we'll next go to the town of Gray. Ann?
Hi, I'm Ann Gass, and I'm Vice Chair of the Gray Town Council. About 4 years ago, in order to communicate with residents more about the budget, which is always challenging, as you know, and a lot of people don't really care to get into the weeds with you, but for those who do, we've developed this 4-page document. This is kind of a blown-up version of it, where we, on the first page, we go into the warrant articles and provide some background on the different initiatives that we're trying to fund under the budget. On the next page, we talk about the overall budget categories, the expenses. The third page, we talk about revenues, where they come from, and then the last page, we talk about the capital improvement expenses and just kind of the breakdown of where the money comes from and goes. And it's definitely there's a ton of detail packed into this document, but it's really helpful because some people really do want to know that information, and it's hard to provide in 10 words or less, and so that's what we've been doing.
Mary. I know. Mr. Mayor, would you yield the okay, all right. So, in the little bit out of order, you're not up yet. You're not up yet. So I'm taking the place of one of our Resilience Corps fellows, Haley Castle Miller, who is on her way here, I know she is, from a meeting in the city of Portland with the Office of Economic Opportunity. She was going to be presenting today in What Works about what they call journey maps, which are one-pager concepts and journey maps about specific topics to help people find the resources they need, whether it's food, English classes, transportation options, and other things that make people's lives easier as they navigate a new community. One of the things I'm picking up on is how important it is to communicate to the people in the community about various things that matter in their lives. And that's what, 3 out of the 6 What Works presentations today. So now, last but certainly not least, town of Windham. Yes.
We're going to find out if this works.
What's the problem?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
You ready?
I'm ready.
told you.
Okay. All right. This says 1.5 minutes.
It was my pal.
I'll yield my time.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. And is that Haley? Awesome. So come on up. I gave a little preview, but it's better to hear from you than from me. This is, again, one of our Resilience Corps fellows, Haley Castle-Miller, doing work with the city of Portland.
Hi. So I wanted to share about something that we create in our office called journey maps. And so they're kind of like concept maps or flow charts, if you're familiar with those. And so it's a series of yes or no questions that guides you to the best resource for you. And so we find this to be an effective way to help people navigate complex systems and get the resources that they need. It all fits onto one page, which is helpful to translate into multiple languages. It's more affordable. And it's also helpful to print multiple copies to give to caseworkers and people who just prefer having a hard copy in hand. And then on the hard copy, we provide a QR code that sends them to our website where they can find the digital version as well as explore the other journey maps that we have.
Excellent.